Stay classy! This weekend, Andover welcomed back their second group of students, known as Cohort 2. As with Cohort 1, their first task upon arrival was to register by a tent near the Rebecca M. Sykes Wellness Center and take a COVID-19 test. While arriving on campus to stick a swab up your nose was not the most exciting way to begin their time on campus, Cohort 2 students found their anxiety alleviated by the cheering of Blue Key Heads. Preserving the Andover tradition by cheering on Salem Street's corner, the 2020 to 2021 Blue Key Heads made sure the arrival of each student was a welcome one. Here are reporters Athena Rhee and Xiao with the story.
Thank you. Dressed up in their classic big blue shirts, tie-dye t-shirts, and adorned with face paint and accessories, this year's Blue Key Heads made sure the arrival of Cohort 2 was a milestone new and returning students alike wouldn't forget. To excite returners in Cohort 2, they blasted music and cheered as students walked by, marking the cohort's transition into on-campus learning for the term.
In a typical year, all students would have been welcomed onto campus before orientation in September. While the pandemic has caused delays in student arrival to campus and prevented the Blue Key Heads from carrying out certain traditions, they were still able to reflect on some of their favorite experiences from this fall.
Favorite parts of being a Blue Key Head is just meeting the people who also are Blue Key Heads, because prior to getting the position, I wasn't very familiar with everyone. And one of the most fun experiences was welcoming new students just at the makeshift corner, which was the crosswalk before everyone got tested. Felt like that was one of the things we could do that is traditionally something the Blue Key Heads run.
My favorite part of being a Blue Key Head is definitely just the random energy that's always happening. You never know what's going to happen. The 10 of us just get along so well. None of us were really super close beforehand, but we just mix into this one big family right away. So that's definitely been the best part, is just getting to know the 9 other Blue Key Heads, from Friday night dinners when you have no idea what's going to happen, to our Zoom calls before we got back to school. There was just always so much laughter and so much joy. So I'm just really grateful to have those 9 people in my life.
I feel like my favorite part, definitely just dressing up and just getting closer with all the other Blue Key Heads, creating new friendships and reaching out to new students, finding ways to keep the Andover spirit alive, even if it's virtual.
I think it's really impressive that we've been able to still, be our Blue Key Heads and spread our positivity given the circumstances that we're in. And so that's definitely, my favorite part, and something that I'm really proud of the group this year.
The Blue Key Heads' roles have shifted in light of this unprecedented year. They shared what some of their responsibilities have been so far.
So what have we been doing so far as Blue Key Heads? It's kind of a mix. We started off with a lot of different videos. We just made one to help with the video that they're compiling about voting. We helped with making a Commons video about the new greenware, as well as just a lot of fun different hype videos before we got back to school. And our kind of biggest task that we had so far was organizing Blue Keys and figuring out kind of who went where, pairing just different groups.
Definitely orientation was different. We're not going to have AE or pep rallies, but just a preview, I guess. We're thinking of doing something for Grasshopper, or either emceeing or having our own skit. So we're finding ways to innovate the Blue Key Head experience.
So far, all of us have been doing a lot of welcoming at registration. There were, I think, 3 different registrations, and so we were all somewhat involved in that. So that was definitely a lot of fun. A lot of good work we did, I thought. We've been making a lot of videos, and we've still been finding ways to spread our positivity.
Despite finding ways to connect virtually, the Blue Key Heads still expressed their regret that they could not work together in person this year. Molly McCarthy, class of 21, and Matt Veneri, also class of 21, who are both on campus, explained how the pandemic has impacted their relationships with the other Blue Key Heads.
My least favorite part, I would just say that not all of us are together. 2 Blue Key Heads are remote, so we don't always get to have them around, which is really sad.
My least favorite part would probably be, of course, the turbulence of this year has, put some holes in our ambitions as Blue Key Heads. But, we keep finding ways to patch those holes and, work together as a group to serve our roles as Blue Key Heads on campus.
The Bluekey Heads for this year were elected last spring. They shared some of their previous expectations regarding the position, which revolves around promoting school pride.
A huge part of being a Bluekey Head is cheering at games, so that's kind of a tough loss just because my favorite part of Andover has always been cheering at sports games. And kind of what did I expect it to be this year? I kind of went in.
Having been a remote Bluekey Head isn't exactly what I expected. I thought I would be able to cheer at games and dress up in my Bluekey Head skirt and walk around campus blasting music and and create real connections with the other Bluekey Heads.
So when I was getting interested in being a Bluekey Head and, was trying out for a Bluekey Head, I was expecting the role of a Bluekey Head to be the same as it would be a Bluekey Head for the past few years or the years before that. And that definitely didn't happen.
With online school and social distancing, students have expressed feelings of disconnect and frustration at the lack of opportunities to interact in person with their peers. However, as Cohort 2 students were welcomed back to campus this weekend, the Bluekey Heads were able to help put smiles on students' faces. This is Xiao.
And Athena Rhee reporting.